Alright, let's take another quick look at Bitcoin. We are looking at the daily chart for Bitcoin, and the date I have is to 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on December the 11th. So far, Bitcoin is up 2.5%, trading at 48,300. And if we look at this chart, especially this yellow line, which is the 200 days moving average, seems like Bitcoin is getting fairly decent support rate at this level. 3 days ago, seller tried to drive the price down, and it dropped close the day near this 200 days moving average. Yesterday, early during the day, the price bounced up, but seller stepped in, pushed the price down. But the minute it got near the 200 days moving average, buyers stepped in, and Bitcoin ended up closing above the low of the day. Today, same thing. The minute seller drive the price down, and when it retests the 200 days, buyers step in, and now it seems like they are taking over and they are driving the price up. The key is this red line, which is the 10 days moving average. If buyer can drive the price up, and let's say today or tomorrow, if Bitcoin continue to trend higher, the key test for Bitcoin would be right at the 10 days moving average, roughly about a 50,000 level. A rejection at the 50,000 level, then that is bad. But if Bitcoin can gain enough buying support to cross over that, stabilize over that, then there is a good possibility that Bitcoin may not retrace and retest this low. So let's see if we can figure out how Bitcoin would likely perform within the next 24-48 hours. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on this 1 hour chart. Yesterday when we look at Bitcoin, it was right at this point when Bitcoin bounced up, crossed over 50,000. It was testing the resistance of this downward channel, got rejected. And after that, price retraced, very much dropped near testing the support of this downward channel. And just like before, every time when it tests the support, buyers step in, push the price up, same at this point. And same thing happened yesterday. The price bounced up, then it's trying to cross over 48.5. Got rejected. Found support at this level, which is 47.7. Bounced up and attempting to test the 48.5 again. Looking at how the price have progressed over the past few hours, we see that after dipping all the way down to about 46.8, bounce up and then retrace. Found support at 47.7. So the low here is higher than this prior low. And after that, we see Bitcoin try to cross over 45. So far, it get rejected, but it's stabilizing and it's looking to retest this again. Another potential bullish sign is if we look at how the price have behaved over the past 2 days, Bitcoin is forming this very nice inverted head and shoulder. As you can see, after the price bounced up and tested the resistance of this downward channel, it get rejected. Dropped down and found support at around 47,000. Bounce up, get rejected at 48.5, and then drop all the way down to about 46.8. Look at the buy volume. So immediately, the minute it hit the 200 days moving average, buyers step in, push the price up, then it ran up, get rejected at 48.5 again. Found support at 47.7, bounce up. So if we look at this pattern, this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the right shoulder, inverted head and shoulder, and the neckline is right at the 48.5. And right now, by finding support at this low, which is higher than this prior low, and stabilizing, looks like Bitcoin is in the process of trying to gather enough buying support to break out and cross over this neckline at 48.5. A breakout technically should take Bitcoin roughly to about the 50,000 level. Let's switch over and take a look at Bitcoin on this daily chart. First thing that I like is it seems like this 200 days is providing very decent support. And we look at how the price behaved over the past 2 days by looking at the hourly chart. It was forming that inverted head and shoulder. There is a very good probability that Bitcoin will cross over the neckline, which is at 48.5. A crossover that would confirm the breakout of the inverted head and shoulder. Then technically, it should take Bitcoin to about 50,000. And at 50,000, it would be testing this red line, which is the 10 days moving average. It is extremely important that Bitcoin needs to close and stabilize over the 10 days moving average. So preferably above the 50,000. If it can stabilize over that for the next few days, then there is a very good possibility that this could potentially be the low as part of this retracement here, and we may not see that bear market that everyone was dreading about. Why I am saying that? Because here's the thing. Beside the inverted head and shoulder, looking at the chart, yesterday we had this long-legged doji, more like an inverted hammer, following with today, which is a green candle. An inverted head and shoulder appeared during a downtrend. Could potentially indicates a reversal in price. Another thing that I like is, as part of this, the support is right at the 200 days moving average. And as I showed you earlier, when we look at the 1 hour chart, the minute the price dip and test the 200 days, there's a lot of buying support. Let me just quickly switch over that so we can see that. As you can see right at this point, when the price dipped to the low and test the 200 days moving average, look at the volume, the buy volume. So it seems like buyer is determined to prevent the price from breaking down. And now look like it is testing the neckline and trying to push the price upward. So all of that is looking very positive. Then looking at the stochastic oscillator, I see this crossover where the blue signal line now just cross over the red line. That is an indication that the price is trending higher. What we really need is for the volume to pick up. The volume is still low. That is still one of my concerns. But based on all that I'm seeing here, there is a very high probability that we could see Bitcoin trading over 50,000 this weekend and stabilize over that. And if that is the case, I am betting on this to be the low and that Bitcoin would continue to stabilize and trend higher. In summary, I expect Bitcoin to stabilize and trend higher this weekend. Over the next 24 or 48 hours, I expect Bitcoin to cross over the neckline, which is at 48.5, and then retest the 10 days moving average at 50,000. And the combination of these two candles, as well as the inverted head and shoulder, based on those indicators, I think that there's a very high probability that Bitcoin should be able to cross over the 50,000 and stabilize over that. So the key price that I'm monitoring is the 50,000. Because if Bitcoin can trade at or above 50,000, then there is a very high probability that we could see this low as the bottom for this retracement. And that Bitcoin would likely trend higher after that. And if I'm right, then the bear market or the crypto winter that we are dreaded about may be averted. That's it for this video. And don't forget to click that like button and reward me with a like if you appreciate the content that I'm presenting. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and subscribe, and make sure you turn notification on. And if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me at Vietmaxim, because I provide constant update on all of our favorite cryptos.